My girlfriend demanded I apologize to her male best friend for hurting his feelings. I agreed. I went to his house and said in front of his wife, I'm sorry I didn't tell my girlfriend about the affair you had last summer. I should have never kept that secret for you. Update 3. The real story, the one that mattered, came from an unexpected source. 2 days after the incident I received an email from Clara, Simon's wife. It was short, but it told me everything I needed to know. Mark, it began. I don't know whether to thank you or to hate you, but you told me the truth, and that's more than my own husband has done in a year. I found the secret credit card statements. It was all true. He's not living here anymore. I've contacted a lawyer. I just wanted you to know that. And I'm sorry for what Kate and Simon put you through. You deserve better. That email was my vindication. I hadn't just gotten revenge. I had performed a necessary albeit brutal act of truth-telling. With the moral high ground firmly established, it was time to deal with the logistical fallout. Kate was still living in my apartment. I had my lawyer draft a formal eviction notice, giving her the legally required 30 days to vacate the premises. She had no legal standing. The lease was solely in my name, but I wanted the process to be clean and official. She responded by trying to turn the apartment into a war zone. She would play loud music at all hours. She would leave passive-aggressive notes on the counter. It was childish and pathetic. I simply ignored it. I started staying at a friend's house, leaving her to stew in the toxic environment she had created. Her final desperate move was to try and steal from me. The day before she was due to move out, I came by the apartment with a friend to make sure she was packing. I found her trying to load my expensive television and sound system into her car. I didn't yell. I just stood there, my arms crossed, and said, "That's not yours, Kate. I paid for half of it." She shrieked. "No, you didn't," I said calmly. "I have the credit card statement that shows I paid for it in full. Put it back, or I will call the police and show them the receipt, and we can add attempted theft to the list of your recent accomplishments." Defeated, she put the television back. The next day she was gone. I walked into my apartment, and for the first time in years it was quiet. It was peaceful. It was mine. It has been 6 months since I got on one knee and apologized. The dust has completely settled and the new landscape of my life is better than I could have ever imagined. The consequences for Kate and Simon, however, have been total and irreversible. Let's start with Simon. His life is a smoldering ruin. Clara, armed with the knowledge of his affair and the proof of his financial deception, the secret credit card, was ruthless in the divorce. She got the house, a significant portion of his assets, and primary custody of their dog. Simon is now living in a small rented condo paying alimony and is by all accounts miserable. His reputation in their social circle is destroyed. He is no longer the witty, charming center of attention. He is the disgraced cheater who got publicly exposed. Now for Kate. Her life has been a slow, painful collapse. After being forced to move out of my apartment, she tried to lean on her best friend Simon for support. But Simon, embroiled in his own catastrophic divorce, had no time or energy for her drama. Their legendary friendship, which was built on a foundation of mutual admiration and a shared contempt for me, did not survive the harsh light of reality. They reportedly had a massive falling out, each blaming the other for the destruction of their lives. With no fiancé, no best friend, and no home, Kate was forced to move back in with her parents. Her attempts to spin the story and paint me as the villain failed spectacularly. The screenshot of Simon's text was undeniable proof that I hadn't lied. She was exposed as a woman who had not only enabled her best friend's affair but had demanded I apologize for challenging his disrespect. She lost all credibility. The last I heard, she is still living with her parents, working a low-level marketing job, her glamorous city life a distant memory. She tried to get revenge on me for a perceived slight, and in doing so she lost everything. As for me, I am thriving. The first thing I did after reclaiming my apartment was to change the locks. It was a symbolic act. I was securing my space, creating a boundary that would never be violated again. I've been focusing on my work, and the peace and quiet in my personal life has allowed me to be more creative and productive than ever. I also reconnected with Clara. A few months after the incident, she reached out to thank me again. We met for coffee just as friends. We had something profound in common. We had both been betrayed by the same two people. We talked for hours. It was easy and honest. That coffee turned into dinner a week later, and that dinner has turned into something more. It's new, it's tentative, but it's real. It's built on a foundation of shared experience and brutal honesty. We both know what it's like to be lied to, and we have no interest in ever doing it to each other. Kate demanded I get on my knees and beg. She wanted a spectacle of my submission. She got her spectacle, but it was one of her own public humiliation. She thought she was the director of the play, but she never realized I was the one who had written the final act. She wanted me to apologize for hurting her best friend's feelings. Instead, I apologized for keeping his secrets, and in doing so I set two people free, Clara and myself.